Hey everybody, this is Jill for today. Thank you for coming into my kitchen. Well, I am making a delicious stuffed portobello mushroom today. It's going to have quinoa and some brown rice and other lots of little great goodies in it. But one of the things that I want to use as a binder is a bechamel sauce. I'm going to be using the bechamel sauce to kind of bind the inside of those delicious stuffing and then a little bit on top. So we're going to start with that first and then we'll get on to the mushrooms. So here in my Instant Pot, this is my blender. I've got some cashews. Now these are raw cashews, unsalted, that have been soaked. So they're nice and soft and they'll cream up very nicely. So those are going in the Vitamix. And of course I'll have all the ingredients in the description box down below for you to see. And then I'm going to put in a little bit of nutritional yeast. And then some olive oil. This is some Trader Joe's nice Spanish olive oil. It's got a nice flavor. I bought this just recently and I hadn't tried their olive oil before. It was very nice. It's organic, and so that's a nice thing. So we're going to put a little olive oil in here and some water. And I'm going to add some salt, not a lot, some salt. Oh, but I want to show you. Do you remember I did a review on these salt and pepper grinders? I am so sold on this. This is the Life, and I'll leave a link up above for the review on it. And I'm just going to, and it lights up. See how nice that is? And I'm just going to add, that's probably 1/8 of a teaspoon, maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon. And of course, I can adjust that seasoning when I finish this sauce up. So I'm going to bring my blender in here and pop this on top, and I need to get my lid, which I forgot to do. Let me grab it here. Okay, and I will start this up and then I will bring you back after it's blended up. You don't need to hear all that sound. So here we go. All right. And you know, the one thing I forgot to put in here is some pepper. So I'm going to bring in my pepper grinder, just like the salt one. Give it a little shot here. Okay. And then I'm just going to give this a quick little mix. And I'll check to see if I need to, you know, kind of scrape down the sides, which I believe I do. Okay. Let me take a quick look in here. Not bad, not bad. Move this aside here. And I will bring this measuring cup in and I'll pour this in so you can see how beautiful, how creamy it is, because it is delicious. Look at that. How beautiful is that? Now, as this sits, it's going to thicken up a little bit. Yeah, doesn't that look nice? This is going to be a lovely sauce for our mushrooms. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to get the ingredients out and put together here for our portobello mushrooms, and we'll be back. All right, we are at the stove and I've got my pan heated up, medium heat. It's getting hot. I've got 1/2 of an onion finely chopped, and I have 1/2 of a yellow pepper finely chopped. You could use green pepper, red pepper. You know, if you wanted to add peas further down the line, you could add peas. But I've put these into a dry heated pan, and I'm going to do some dry sauteing, and a little bit down the line I will be adding some water to help, you know, water saute those. That helps us keep a little bit of oil out of the diet. So there, I'm a few minutes down the way there, and they're starting to soften up, and I'm going to put in a little bit of salt and pepper here, light on the salt, a nice amount of pepper, and I will stir that in. There's that water. See, I'm adding a little water there. That's helping keep those vegetables moist enough so they brown or saute without drying out and burning. So that's what the water is about. You don't have to flood it. Just a little bit of water. And I think now I'm going to add, I'm going to add some garlic. I've got 2 cloves of garlic here that I am mincing and putting those in. And I'm going to stir that up. This is really an easy recipe. It's not too terribly difficult. All right, stirring that all in. And now I'm going to start adding some herbs. I've got some dried rosemary. Fresh herbs would be awesome. I didn't have any, but I've got some fresh rosemary here, about a teaspoon, half a teaspoon. Crush that up well. Put that into there, and then I'm also going to add some an Italian blend. You know, it has oregano and thyme and all that good stuff. I'm going to add about the same amount of that. Yep, put that in there. Stir that up well. Get that all combined, so all those herbs get in there and the garlic. Okay, here we go. Now here's the thing with the spinach. Whenever I have leftover spinach, and I buy those large containers, if I have it left over, I will put it in a baggie and stick it in the freezer. It is great for doing smoothies. It's great for doing casseroles like this. But if you take it out too soon, which is what happened here, those leaves begin to soften up pretty darn fast, and then they're hard to break apart. So I'm going to show you what I did. So as you see, I'm trying to work this through, trying to get that spinach broken down. It's not going to happen, Jill. It is not going to happen. So what am I going to do? You know what they say about necessity being the mother of invention. See there, it's too gloppy. We need smaller pieces in there. So I got my kitchen. It worked. I got my kitchen shears in there, and I snipped away at that spinach. But if you take the spinach out of the freezer and you crunch it up in your hand while it's still good and frozen, it chops it up beautifully, and it's just wow! It's so good to use in any kind of casserole or smoothie or whatever. Now this is a faux ground sausage we bought. It's all nuts and seeds. There's no engineering or engineering meat put in there. It's okay. We didn't. It's got some good seasoning to it. It's nice and spicy. We wouldn't buy it again, and we had some leftovers, so we said, yeah, this we can put into this portobello mushroom. And as I said, it was okay, but not a great shakes. This is quinoa, and if you want a great recipe on how to make quinoa either in your Instant Pot or on the stove, I will leave links, because this is perfect quinoa. I thought it was going to need brown rice additionally, but this was about 2 cups of quinoa, and it was just right. So I'm getting that all stirred in there. Talking too fast again. I got to slow up. All right, so we get that all stirred in. And now here comes that bechamel sauce, or the crema, as I sometimes call it. And I'm going to put, well, because of the amount of quinoa and veggies here, I'm putting about 1/4 cup. But what you really want is enough to keep that, to make that a binder, so that when you go to put it into those mushrooms, it's going to hold together. And I've turned the heat off, and I'm going to mix this all in. And then I will turn it off while I go to the process of preparing the mushrooms to stuff. So there is that. Isn't that just beautiful? All right, so we're going to set that aside. We're back, and here are my portobello mushrooms. What I did with them is there was a bit of a stem left. I took the stem out, and I took a spoon and just carved out, that's my air fryer, sorry. I carved out all the gilling that was underneath. These are beautiful portobello mushrooms. I did that. I'm going to set this aside now. And what I'm going to do is, because it's very warm today, I am going to do these in the air fryer on bake. But this would be something you would put in your oven. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little lemon juice on these. I think that they need a little, a little spark of life there. There's that one. And that one there. Okay. And then I'm going to take this lovely mix that I made earlier, and I'm going to start putting it in here. These are nice big cavities, so there's going to be a lot available here to eat. I made a lot. I didn't know whether I'd have too much of this. And if I did, the director loves burritos, and he'll put anything in a tortilla. So I thought this would be a good thing for him to have in a tortilla if there was any left. I don't think I'm going to have much, if any. Pack that in there, and see that nice little bechamel sauce made it nice and it's got some stick-to-itness. It just binds it together. Okay, and put a little bit more of this in that one there, and we're gonna about have that. Of course, I'm making a colossal mess there, but that's okay. That's what cooking's all about. This is the director's. This is the nice big one there for him. pack that one more. Okay, so I got that. And then I'm going to put just again a little drizzle of lemon juice, because I think it just makes, lemon juice I think just makes things pop. You know, it just makes it bright. But you don't put so much on that you go, ooh, lemon juice. Then I'm going to take this lovely bechamel sauce that I made, and I'm going to just do a little tiny drizzle of that on top. Like so. And then I'm going to, as I always say, gild the lily. This is some plant-based Gouda cheese. And I'm going to put a little of that on top there. Give it a little extra something. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this with some aluminum foil so those mushrooms have a bit of a chance to kind of steam, kind of moisten themselves a little bit. I bet that little bit of foil is causing havoc with the microphone. And here we are done. And it took about 20 minutes at 375. And actually what happened with that is the air fryer was I couldn't put the aluminum foil on it because it just kept blowing off, and then it got stuck on the cheese, so I removed it. But it turned out, even so, it's nice and crispy on the outside, and the cheese is melted, and yet it's a little crusty. See there? Yeah, it's very nice. And the mushroom itself is very tender. I checked it with a knife. So this is ready to eat, and we are hungry, and we are going to have dinner. I hope you'll give this recipe a try. It really is good. And again, you know, I usually do it in the oven, but doing it in the air fryer under oven worked out pretty well, except for that aluminum foil. Anyway, but if you had more than 2 mushrooms, certainly you could do it in the oven. I will leave the recipe down below. It's delicious, it's plant-based, and I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. I hope you'll share this video with someone who you think might like it, and I will see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.